All right, so this is the last module of the course, and this is going to talk about our long-term vision. When it comes to any business, including Instagram, there are really three ways you can spend your time. One is the day-to-day or very short-term kind of operations. For Instagram, this would be things like creating posts, actually going in and posting because that takes time, coming up with the ideas for the next day or next week, and things like replying to comments and stuff like that. Now, the next kind of category would be near term, not day to day, but short term, meaning like stuff for next month, next few months, let's call it. So this would be stuff like building your engagement up, reaching out to advertisers to do a promotion in the near future, building some sort of a monetization product. So those are kind of your short-term, near future goals and operations. And then the third way you can spend your time is on the long-term stuff. And that's what we're talking about today, which is stuff like branding, strategy, planning. Now, this is stuff that's not going to make you money today, tomorrow, next week, but it's probably going to dramatically increase your ability to make money over the next year or two. So whenever you're doing things, I try to categorize these in my calendar. I try to block some time every week. I mean, almost every day for the day-to-day stuff, but then I make some time every week for the short-term stuff, and then I make some time for the long-term stuff as well. So with that in mind, I want you to think about, where do you want this to be 6 months from now? And then additionally, where do you want this to be 3 years from now? And that could look a lot different for a few of you. 6 months from now, you might say, I just want 10,000 followers. That's all I want. Very achievable goal. Let's go out and get it. And then some of you might be saying, 3 years from now, I don't even want to be playing in Instagram. I want to be selling this account in a couple years and take a big check and go do something else. Some of you might say, I want to be the biggest creator on Instagram in 10 years. So I'm committed to that. I'm not selling this for anything. Like, this is going to be a part of my life for the next 10 years. Bang. So think about those thoughts and those visions, I guess, as you're moving along here, because ultimately you want to have some sort of either exit plan or long-term strategy. Would you want to sell your account? Like I was talking about kind of at the beginning of this course, we touched on some ways you can buy it. Just like that, you can obviously sell it and make a huge profit. Personally, I've sold Instagram accounts for over $200,000. So it's a very profitable thing when you do it and position it correctly. It takes a lot to put a deal like that together. It's not just throw it up online and hope that somebody buys it the next day. Like, there's contracts and, all sorts of ways that you need to get vetted and stuff like that. And then also just another question, are you open to selling your product now? If you are, it's always interesting to just hear what people value your product at. You could throw it on the market, a lot like real estate. You don't have to accept anything, but you could just see what kind of nibbles you get, which is always interesting and worthwhile in my opinion. So that's the kind of stuff to think about when it comes to the long-term play. Your action items for that are just to block out some time, sit down, really map this thing out and look at where you want to be 6 months from now and ultimately like 3 to 5 years from now as well.